What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HASAN broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is the day I'm back. Fox News went crazy. They talked about you every day. Hannity had you in the opening monologue 2 days in a row. Oh my God, they must have missed me. Did they miss me? If there's one community that missed me, it's got to be my haters, right? Like I know you guys are like, oh, you didn't give me the news boy. Fuck you, right? I'm sure that's like a primary concern for many of you in this community. But let's be real. I think there's a community that missed me a lot more. And that was Fox News and my haters on the internet. Haters on the liberal side, haters on the Republican side, doing a devastating handshake of hell, getting together and finding new ways of yelling about me, even when I wasn't making new content for them. Yeah, this was very funny. This was a very funny outrage. Hassan Piker framed the 9/11 front page. This is an enemy of America. It's like, first of all, it's called Never Forget. Hey, Twitch, you okay with this? I don't mean that to be funny. I'm actually asking, are you actually okay with this? Why would Twitch ban me for having a framed newspaper of 9/12 of the New York Times? That would be fucking insane. It is probably the most singularly important historic event of all of our lifetime. That is insane. Hassan Piker now displays a framed 9/12 newspaper showing the Twin Towers in flames behind him on stream. History enthusiasts when it isn't World War II or the Roman Empire. Yeah, that was really funny. Dave Rubin, I can't even begin to explain how evil it is that scumbag Hassan Piker has the September 12, 2001 New York Times framed on his set. You know what's really funny about all this, by the way? They all complained about this. And then one day later, Donald Trump came out and was like, hey, you know that country that had the most to do with 9/11, Saudi Arabia? I'm going to give that country nuclear weapons, potentially, a pathway to develop nukes. There is nothing funnier than watching the entire conservative sphere lose their collective minds and try to manufacture outrage over a non-issue that most normal people will be like, yeah, it's a fucking profoundly important historic event. And then the next day, Trump is like, you know what? Actually, 9/11, the country that had a lot to do with it, they deserve nuclear arms. We are going to give them civilian nukes, but also potentially a pathway to nuclear enrichment. It is fucking hilarious that they went and try to manufacture and farm outrage only to then turn around and get outdone by Donald Trump. Yeah, whatever happened to Never Forget? Well, for them, it's like, I should forget it immediately, I guess. And that's what they're frustrated about. What does Saudi Arabia do with it? 17 of the 19 hijackers were of Saudi descent, Saudi nationality. And not only that, but also there were members of the royal family that had directly funded the hijackers. Also, Al-Qaeda is, a collaborative effort between the CIA and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So they had a lot to do with it, a lot more than Iran did, for example. Iran had nothing to do with 9/11, even though Americans think it was Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan that had everything to do with 9/11, which is hilarious because they had nothing to do with it at all. That was a farm operation, manufactured outrage operation that I think kind of fell flat, and we moved on. What is this other Fox News article? Hassan, far-left figure erupt over subpoenas in $39 million Singham probe. McCarthy trials. For the far-left ally slammed the subpoenas as a witch hunt while fundraising campaigns were also initiated. It's kind of funny that they're trying to tie me to Roy Singham so hard. Like, I have no connection to this man. Not that it matters, because it's still, as a commentator, as an analyst, as a leftist, as a socialist, yeah, of course, I'm very frustrated by the federal government engaging in this like fascist witch hunt, regardless of my lack of direct relationship or involvement with Roy Singham. You finally got subpoenaed? No, I did not get subpoenaed. Chatter. You both wear glasses. It's true. We both do wear glasses. Anyway.
To President Biden, Michael, lay it out there for us.
This guy is a classic example of this, right? Establishment Democrats that are running to cooperate with fascists in order to attack their left flank.
Is blue MAGA?
Well, I have no idea. I mean, the article said it in the New York Times said it was sort of anything for what anybody wants it to be. This is the first I've heard of it, actually, and since I read the New York Times piece.
It's catchy.
What's that?
It's catchy.
It's catchy, clever play on words. I give him credit. But look, if being blue MAGA means you want to avoid losers as candidates, like Graham Plattner or anybody who had a Nazi tattoo, or nominating Democrats with toxic positions like abolish ICE or defund the police, or banning private health care insurance, then sure, fine, call me blue MAGA, I guess. Those are not winners. Those are not winning issues or winning positions.
All right, here's what Hasan Piker told the New York Times. He said, blue MAGA is about cult-like loyalty to the Democratic Party, but unlike MAGA, it isn't centered around one person. It's centered around the image of a party that consultants and lobbyists have carefully curated.
Cooked. Excellent. Excellent take from that guy. I don't know who that guy is. He has a beard. Different guy than me, but kind of agree. I hear that and I think to myself, wow, that guy is going places. That guy is correct.
Obviously becoming the new ding on the party establishment. Folks like Nancy Pelosi who have spent their careers raising, I don't know, hundreds of millions of dollars for candidates.
Why is Fox News defending Nancy Pelosi's honor? When have they done that? Why are they doing that?
Yeah, and look, I understand a frustration with sort of the groupthink mentality sort of at the top. And I spoke out in the last cycle when I was, kind of sending some warning signals about President Biden's challenges and his vulnerabilities, and just even acknowledging that problems existed within the polling. And I lost friends. I was blacklisted from other networks. I was called a traitor or a bedwetter. I was called a lot worse than a...
Yeah, that's why now I can only go on Fox News to complain.
Blue MAGA. But I'm also not going to take advice from somebody who has no idea what he's talking about. I mean, this guy makes a living being a provocateur, saying provocative, offensive things. I'm glad he has a political science degree from Rutgers, but he knows nothing about government, politics, public policy, or anything.
Well, we appreciate you here, having you enjoy talking to you on the program.
Is he saying that you were in support of Biden? I mean, I was in support of Biden reluctantly. In 2019, if you go back far enough, you'll see in 2019, while the primaries were just beginning, I said, if we elect Joe Biden is going to set back any kind of progressive movement in this country. He's too old, and everyone can see that he's too old, and he is going to be a one-term president. It is a major mistake. But once past the point of Super Tuesday, when it was very clear that Joe Biden was going to be the candidate, unfortunately, when the establishment Democrat consolidated their support behind him, shouts out to Barack Obama for that, it was obvious that he was going to be the winner. Unfortunately, I reluctantly lent my support to Joe Biden. I did. I told my audience to plug their nose and vote for him. Joe Biden won, and change didn't come, and people were even more frustrated. They saw negative real wage growth for a year and a half under the Biden administration. That was hugely frustrating. And the Biden administration was absolutely, utterly incapable of defending against the barrage of reactionary attacks, saying that Joe Biden was opening up the floodgates of migration from the third world, all this stuff. One of the few good things that Biden did was pull out of Afghanistan. Everyone endlessly critiqued him for it. His reputation never recovered. There was a uniparty approach. And then, Biden's crowning achievement for his devastating term, was the complete advancement of Israel's genocidal project and genocidal ambitions over Gaza. And he will forever be remembered as the guy, as Genocide Joe. Yeah, this is back in 2020. I said, one truly wild thing that we haven't really talked about is Biden's stated interest in being a single-term president. Like, we're just going to throw away our incumbent advantage because Joe's going to be a vegetable by the end of his presidency. Truly incredible stuff. And at the time, the same centrist forces were yelling at me and saying, you're wrong, because that was a false rumor. Turns out it actually caused the Democrats to lose a tremendous amount of credibility amongst the base, because they could see personally that Joe Biden's mental faculties had deteriorated, and they lost a lot of trust. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We'll fight for the gospel. We'll honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. His courage will make heaven known.